Well, actually, it's not a photo, it's a video. Anyway, we're all arriving, all getting here on time, are we? We're going out in the rain, is that right, George?
We're going out in the rain, it's just a shower.
Just a shower, is it?
A heavy shower.
Well, all getting ready to go to Covent Garden. And we've got a little bit of rain.
Going to Covent Garden, and up there's plenty of shops and markets and things. We're going to eat at 7:30 in Café Rouge. Just pay for our own food, whatever we want, or some wine or some beer, whatever. Just to get to know each other. Very informal, just making little groups. Tomorrow morning, we want to be down here at 9:30, but we have a big day tomorrow. But tonight, at a very nice dinner tomorrow night in a special location. About tonight. But tonight, just informal, just go together, just wander around in groups, look at the shops, spend all your money. I hope the street entertainers are still there. They may go if it rains, you know. But we should have a nice time. It's Café Rouge on Wellington Street. I'll show you when we pass it. So we're just going on the tube now, water the tube, and we go about four stops.
It's only a little bit of rain.
It's not doing much.
I know.
We've got the makings of a wonderful audience there. I won't ask you to come forward yet, just in case it does start raining, but
Okay.
if the show looks like it's going, because I was saying, you don't get it? It's pretty, because sometimes, I'll admit it's not graceful, but it is methodical. It's exactly how the guy did it on YouTube. What's going on? Yeah! Oh, Lord, are we good?
What are you buying, Carol?
Yes! Here we go. Oh, no. Excuse me, only ladies, not your side.
Is David making sure we're all comfortable?
Why do you need me?
Because we're trying to order, we don't have anything to drink.
Well, it's only 4 o'clock. That's all
Hi, Terry.
Don't worry, you'll get one of those soon. You what else?
are like me and a little bit older, there's an extra discount, so tell them, and then they just give you the ticket. But get a return ticket, otherwise it's a long walk back. And then when we get there, we'll just assemble on the thing, and I'll start to do this tour. I was going to have a German-speaking guide, but they wanted £100 per person. So I said, okay, you'll have to suffer my English. I wasn't paying £100 per person, so you got me.
All ready to roll?
Very right.
It is, yeah. Because our stays in... See that, I think I'll sit downstairs, Colin, because I'm going to be cold. I know you all want to go up
Contactless and Oyster users are reminded to touch out to avoid paying an incorrect fare. Please take a moment to read the safety cards in the seat pockets.
We took a kid one holiday, we went on this ferry thing, this cable car across. You come out of the O2, we got on the Dublin side and went to the O2. And it was snowing like, what you do.
We made it, Jerry.
Everybody, welcome to Greenwich. What do we know about Greenwich? I've got my little cards to the important thing about Greenwich is that it's the world's time area, where they originally got the time. You'd be surprised to hear that the first people who were working on this was a German scientist, but they took it over here in the 17th century and developed this place. What do you have to remember? Palace, and I'll show you which building they are. All these are sort of museums, royal museums, very good museums. They're all free. They're all free. Just no charge. Where are they? For lunch, but here there is a... They are. Very nice. So,
Hey, dog classes, you say, Carol?
obedience classes.
Obedience. Sure, you don't want me to go?
You graduated.
I'll cut bits out of this video, you know.
The only reason he's here is he had a house in this town. I think people just put a foot on it to see what the benefit is. But the planet will go into the museum if you just buy your tickets and buy one from the planetarium. The show is from Thursday, and then we'll meet outside here and we'll wander down to the museum. If you look at this view from here, it's fantastic because you have a building, all Christopher Wren buildings there, and which was the Royal Palace, and then you've got the Onsen Model. To create the
Here we are, the Meridian line.
busy 24 hours a day, mustn't he? Living on the buildings.
Here come the conquering heroes.
Conquered the mountain.
This is the only time I get on the video.
What are you doing this?
And now you can see what I'm going to film.
I'm not going to let you. I'm not going to tell him you're filming that. Put it down. Tell him, Carol.
Did we do that here?
Yes.
Did you get my best side?
Yeah, we'll try.
Wow.
You're on video, Ron. Nice seeing you again, mate.
Young guys, look where we are. Make us all ourselves out.
To a very unique joint Rotary meeting of two great clubs, Rotary Club of Hohenchurch and Upminster and Rotary Club of Trier and Hochwald. So welcome everybody. Before we start the normal procedure, then we do it slightly differently today. First of all, I'm going to welcome to our guests, of whom we got very many. But before I start, I'll introduce you the President, Andreas. And his good lady, Uta. Now I'm going to ask Andreas to introduce his members and their parties.
Yes, thank you very much. And I should like to say a few words before we start the dinner. There are not many of us who have come tonight or this week to London, but they're the best people of our time, of course. And I'm very happy to say that there are quite a few new members. And allow me to start at the edge of the table. There's our new friend, Henrik de Heesen. Henrik, please go up. And his lovely wife, Kerstin. And there's a reinforcement that we for them. Then we have Stephanie. She doesn't have to get up. And husband Christian, very easy to remember for me. And they have the little runaway who we're racing, runaway young, who last night was in the hotel poor Stephanie was quite outraged because he had disappeared, but he came back for a while. Then with Tobias and his lovely wife Jennifer, and their beautiful daughter Jana. Jana in a lovely dress tonight. Magnificent. Who else is there from America? Two of us. Oh yeah, of course, there is Eberhard. Eberhard and his wife Anne. Eberhard thinks his name is so difficult to pronounce for English tongue, so he prefers to be named William the Conqueror. And of course we have Brigitte. What would be a meeting between our clubs without her? I'm so happy that she's come and really well. Last night we had a great time together in the pub, and we started warming up at the pub, and then we went to the Café Rouge. Was not the Moulin Rouge, no. And and there is our incoming president, my dear friend, Rolf Malga, and his lovely lady, Sabina. And there's Shorty we call him Christian, my son. Pretend yourself. 6'4" and full of muscles though. And was that it? I think, yeah. Have a forgotten anyone? No.
What about you and your wife?
Pardon?
We've done that.
Yes, I think I've seen her somewhere. It's my wife Uta, you know her very well, and and me, after I don't know how many sniffers I've had, and but I'm still able to stand upright. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you. And I also welcome Ron Gagas. It's always a pleasure to see you and Katie. And I also like to welcome our newest recruit, Jillian Paul. How about the list of guests here? Welcome to Paras, welcome. Ellen Dawson, welcome Ellen. Welcome to Angela Holmes. Paul Holmes. Jack Holmes. And Lizzie Holmes. I think I would also like to introduce our incoming president. Can I ask Mabel, where are you, Mabel Freeman? Can I ask everybody to be upstanding for a Rotary Day? Wish Ryan and Jen for their 50th wedding anniversary.
Ask them to stand up. Where are they? Stand up. There we are.
Well, this is quite a surprise. And a surprise, we have brought something. We didn't know that it was your wedding anniversary. We say in Germany, we say men who are married, we always say they live longer than others. They don't live longer than others. It's just their impression. And for this reason, we brought something. I will explain it in detail afterwards, but I can give it to him right now. But he must keep it a secret.
This is a very special bottle. They brought very special.
She has indeed.
Celebrate with a lovely group of people on this occasion. So thank you.
You couldn't find anything.
That's awesome. Brian, where did you meet Jan? Where did you meet her? That's what we want. That's what the whole crowd wants to know. Where did you find her?
As you have an inquiring mind, I'll tell you. My wife and I met while we were actually dancing. Now, a lot of you will have watched on television this ballroom dancing they do on Saturday nights. That's how we met. We both met at a dance school. I think you were 14.
I was 14.
40?
Wow.
We danced together.
What an adventure. Wow, that's it.
Zip up.
Shall we ask David to pass that member by so next week? No, seriously. Today is a big occasion for both of our clubs because I think we've reached a milestone today. And it's my sincere hope that long may continue the relationship that we have.
Here, here.
I think it's up to us and you to make sure that that continues, and maybe we extend to a 3-club situation in the future with Newton's there. So can I please ask members of Rotary Club of Home Church and Upminster to be upstanding to give a toast to our guests?
Yeah, with great pleasure.
I'm going to go. Not you.
Jenny.
Welcome again.
Oh, I missed out on that. Cheers.
Thank you very much. I invite now President Andreas. It's the wine that you've been drinking because it's in my head. Andreas, please give us a few words from him.
Dear President, Yipkaj, and your charming wife, Shami, thank you very much. You know, Mark Twain once said, the human brain is a wonderful thing. It functions like a clockwork until the moment we get up to hold a speech. Therefore, I thought it would be wise to read out something to you I have prepared. It's all scribbled and it's only 10 pages, and I thought you can make it through that. So, all members of the Rotary Club Hochwald and Upminster, ladies and gentlemen, dear Brigitte, especially Brigitte, I wish Elke were here as well. We all know that Elke is very ill, and so I include her in our common speech and our common get together. It is a real pleasure for me, for us, to be here again, and if I may speak for the members of our club as well, I should thank you from the bottom of my heart for the hearty welcome and the splendid weekend you have been offering us.
Oh, that's lovely.
For those who know London a little bit, including my family, I must say it's always surprising what still remains to be seen. And for the newcomers in our club, it is a temptation to come back in 2 years to discover more. The 2 years are still in a big brackets. Mutter, big brackets. I won't say anything more. Mutter, I'm your Jamaica man. My special thanks, of course, go to David for the most perfect planning of this event. You came up with the idea of visiting Covent Garden, Greenwich, and above all, you made it possible that we're spending this wonderful interclub dinner here on Her Majesty's Quartership, Wellington. Good thing we aren't French, so you should have booked something else. But seeing the place, I thought I'm approaching the age of 40, so...
Can you say that again?
I didn't say from which side I'm approaching. I should think it would be the right place for me and for a family to celebrate. So it's a wonderful thing for us, for our clubs, to be here with you together to celebrate 10 years of friendship.
Yeah.
We, the younger ones, take this for granted, but older people remember that there were terrible times in the past between our countries. The awareness of which should make us all even happier. That we are here and embrace each other, not only as Rotarians, but as friends. As it happens, our group is rather small, but we shall tell the others that we were received by Her Majesty the Queen, and that of course, Jeremy Corbyn threw a party for us. Because we are the ambassadors of Karl Marx's birthplace. I'll come to that in a moment. So once our delegation was set up, we had to think of a little present for the anniversary, and we couldn't think of anything better than offering you some sparkling wine from Moselle. Luckily enough, we have a winemaker in our club, Bernhard Kirsten, who gave me this bottle. This bottle of sparkling wine with a label designed by our friend Eva. Bernhard told me to greet everyone and of course to offer you a snifter. Since there are quite a few of you, I have pitched my wife Sim. Now I should like to queue up, everyone queue up. Of this sparkling wine. No offense to Scotland, that would have been the Scottish way. So we thought, what the heck, instead of one bottle and 48 thimbles, we might as well send you 48 bottles in one thimble. So Bernhard shipped the whole lot to David.
Yeah. I have it all.
Hoping they haven't...
I've only drunk 2 bottles. It's very nice. I've only drunk 2 bottles.
Hoping that he hasn't put the fox in shot at the hen house. But I'm sure that after the first day of Russia, David still has some bottles there for the club. Coming back to David, by the way, how can I thank you for all the work and the energy you have invested in the well-being of our friendship? You've always been reliable and helpful, and we shall never forget the wonderful long walk with you last time when you outclassed any professional tourist guide. However, you told me you would like to backtrack from your duties and enjoy life in the sunny south together with Rita. Well deserved, and big applause for David.
Yeah.
So but I'm sure I shall work very well together with your charming successor. David, in order to remind you of the Rotary meetings and of our clubs, I should like to give you this Roman calendar from the 4th century, which I nicked in the museum in Trier. When no one was looking.
Thank you very much.
You can open it, of course. You may mark our meetings and, of course, your wedding anniversary, which will keep you in Rita's good books. David and Rita, thank you so much for all you have done for us. Applause.
Yeah. Alive.
I'm talking about anniversaries. Next year, as I said, we shall be celebrating a very special occasion in Trier, the 200th birthday of Karl Marx, which will be Karl Marx, which will be a major event for the whole region. Of course, we shall drag you through all the exhibition halls, but only after extensive wine tasting in Denmark to make things easier. You know, I used to be a Marxist in my youth, and I still am a Marxist. Oh yeah, I am. I have switched from Karl to Groucho. And Groucho once said, I refuse to join any club that would have me for a member. So quite obviously he didn't know about Rotary. So we would be very glad to have you next year and enjoy the wonderful wine. We don't have the splendor and the grandeur of London, but we're the best wine in the world. Yeah. And before I come to an end, let me just think of two friends who will be watching us from wherever they are, Hans and Eddie. Formed a friendship.
Absolutely.
And I just want to say, Hans and Eddie, thank you and cheers. Cheers.
Thank you very much for that lovely speech and comments. You were talking about David Fell, I hope. You were talking about David Fell. You just said David. Yeah? No, honestly, quite honestly. David, I've known David for a very, very long time.
Embarrassing me now.
No, I've known him for a very, very long time. He's been a Rotarian since 1972. And he's been a very willing Rotarian. You know, when you come to the club, your friendship was extended straight away. And you've always been willing to help, whether it's sponsor walk or Christmas collection or your international duties. You've always been there. And was it for the last 10 years? You've been doing very important part of Rotary International, where international to come and know other cultures, other traditions, is a very important part of Rotary International, for which we are very grateful what you've done over the last 10 years. I'm sure you'll be helping Mutual in the future to organize and help in every way. Obviously, for every successful man, there is a lady behind. Rita, on behalf of the club, we would also like to extend our sincere thanks to you and all the work and you've done for the Rotary, and pairing up with David because David, sincerely, you've been a fantastic Rotarian for our club, and it gives me a great pleasure tonight in front of our friends in Germany to present to you a marked achievement of Rotary. And on behalf of all the members, I'd like to present, if you come up here for me, please. Can I ask all Rotarians to stand up, please?
Yes.
And join me in wishing maybe
Could you hold that on the while I turn on telephone?
of Paul Harris Fellows.
Finish the ball.
Let's get it right.
There's no, that one.
You have to do over and above and everything
I stay here because I'd like you to say a few words.
Wouldn't be the same without me saying a few words, would it? Fed up of hearing me all day, but...
Can we take the pictures? Wait, Colin, we need more pictures.
Come on, Colin. Come on, Colin. Bloody guys, they don't know what they're doing, do they?
It's coming close, yeah. Get the glasses off. Bring the glasses off. I didn't know that was a big surprise. Thank you. That was it. Do you want me to say it?
Yes. Please be seated.
Please, everybody be seated comfortably. I'll see if I can work this thing.
Does it work?
Yes.
We're here with it,
Well, that's a big surprise. I mean, I had a little sort of speech ready. That's rather. Okay, I mean, my first thing is to apologise that I'm not doing this speech in German. Because I know we've tried to do it in German before and we've made rather silly things, but I can't speak any German. But I was in the pub last night with somebody and he said to me, I told him that I was on the board of a company in Fulda. I'm sure that our guests know where Fulda is in Germany. And I was on the board of a company for 7 years in Fulda. And he said, oh, well, you must speak German. And I said, well, of course I speak German. And he said, oh, that's wonderful. And I said, well, but I only speak 3 words. Ein Pils, bitte. So I'm sorry you'll have to have it in English. But I always think that people who always admire our friends from Trier because of your phenomenal way of speaking English. I mean, we can't speak, I mean, I'm there, is about as far as I can go. But I mean, I can talk to everybody, and it's really great.
Yeah, incredible.
I admire you. But I wonder how you deal with things, because we often say in English things that we don't actually mean. It doesn't actually mean something. Because when the President said to me tonight, he said, would you like to say a few words after the dinner? Well, that sounds like a question to a German. It would sound like a question. No, that's not a question. That means you are the after-dinner speaker. before I get into my little speech, because what I'm going to do here, I'm going to promote the City of London. It's something that I do a lot, and I'm going to promote the City of London. But I'd just like to introduce you to my successor, and the reason I'm stepping down is I spend a lot of time abroad and I can't manage the company. But my successor is Mutel Kerr. Mutel, can you stand up? As you know, she's been canvassing opinion whether we should have our interclub meeting in Montego Bay in the Caribbean.
Yes, yes.
I said to her that of course, after this terrible hurricane, they've got 2 years before we need to do it. So they'll be repaired, we'll be fine. So we can go there. Looking back a little
like
bit at London, I always find it very strange because when we went to Berlin with our dear friend Hans Röder, they showed us all the modern things. They showed us all the new buildings, the way they diverted the river, the fabulous Potsdamer Platz, and it was absolutely fabulous. When you come here, we show you medieval 16th century English buildings. And I thought, hang on a minute, they must realise this is very strange, all this modern stuff in Germany. But I'd like to talk a little bit about the history. I'm not going to change direction. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the history of Germany. There's a few new people here, and I think maybe they don't know so much about London. But there are, in fact, 2 Londons. Did you know that? No. There are 2 Londons. There is the metropolis of London, and there is the city of London.
2 mayors.
Quite different, these things, quite different. I mean, the metropolis of London we've actually got 2 mayors. I don't know what mayors is in Germany. Bürgermeister. We have 2 Bürgermeisters in London. We have one for the metropolis of London, and we have one for the city of London. And it must be dreadfully confusing to a tourist to see that we have 2 mayors. And if you look at it, the Lord Mayor is in the city of London, and he's elected by the livery companies. Now, you're sitting in the livery company now. These people who run these companies here, these livery companies, they elect the Lord Mayor. The general population elect the Mayor of London, and they are the proper votes in the franchise. And I've got to be careful what I say here because we've got our newest member as a politician there. I know there's no politics in Rotary, but it's been happy to have a local politician in your town. So she's an independent, so it's
that's okay.
Safe.
If you look at the metropolitan area of London, the metropolis, it's 11 million people. And it's going up, I don't know, 100,000 a year. There's a terrible problem in London because of the surface of the people. But it's 11 million people. If you look at the city of London, 300,000 people work in the city of London. And of course, we've got one here. Christian von Kanstein is in the city of London.
Is that you?
300,000 people live in the city of London, work in the city of London. But only 9,000 live there. 9,000. Can you believe that? There's 300,000 live in London. There's only 9,000 live in the actual city itself. The city is the financial and business centre, and it's globally important. It's absolutely globally important. And what do we know about the city? It's called the Square Mile. The Square Mile. And the reason it's called a square mile is it's 1.5 kilometres square. 1.5 kilometres. And that's a tiny area for 300,000 people to work there. Wow. And you're actually in the city now. So when you're walking around, you'll see on the lamppost like a creature, like a dragon thing with wings and things and sticking out. I don't know what it is, but that tells you you're in the city of London, as separate from the other thing. And this dragon sculpture is all on the lampposts and everything. Interesting thing about the city, it has its own government. Sorry about that, Councillor. Sorry about that. It has its own government. It has its own parliament, the City of London. Only 9,000 people live there, but it's got, well, 300,000 people live. But it has its own parliament, the Guildhall. It has its own police force. The City of London police, their own police force. It has its own army. That very few people know it has its own army. Can you imagine the City of London? 9,000 people live there, it has its own army. And of course, the army, because of all their traditional British looking back into medieval times, rather than Potsdamer class, but looking back into medieval times, they're called the pikemen and musketeers. The pikemen, pikes are giant sort of things you stick in horses when they're charging at. And of course, it's been there for a very, very long time. But wait for it, there's only 63 men allowed to be in the City of London Army. 63 men. 60 men and 3 officers in the whole of the City of London. And that goes back 500 years because the King was scared that they would become too strong for him in the City of London. But of course, when we had our civil war, he was exiled anyway, so it didn't do him any good keeping it to 63. It's the second oldest army in the world. Anybody any idea what would be an older army than the one we have in the City of London? Any idea?
Roman?
The Swiss Guard is absolutely giving me my notes. It's the Swiss Guard. The Swiss Guard is 15 years older than the Musketeers in the City of London. And of course, it's very interesting here to just pause for a moment, because although we have this very old-fashioned medieval structure in London, you had exactly the same in Germany in the 15th to the 18th century. You had these structures but of course, Germany modernised, and we stayed where we are. And all we think about is history, and the Germans think about the future and making fabulous Mercedes-Benz to sell to us. Diesel, no, electric ones. Of course, we English continue with this ancient structure that the Germans modernised. But the City of London is governed by the city livery companies, and we're in the city livery company now. This is a city livery company. They govern the City of London. The government don't run it, it's run by livery companies like this, and they're vitally important to the fabric of the economic structure of London and the prosperity of London. They elect the mayor, they elect the sheriffs, and they elect all the senior civic people. So when our friend, Councillor Ford has to be elected by the population, the liverymen elect for the City of London. So it's nothing to do with the population, it's to do with the liverymen. And you're in the livery hall today. And we are a livery company here. This is called the Honourable Master Mariners Company. The Master Mariners are in fact sea captains. And of course, after the war, when the whole of London was flattened, they purchased this ship that we're sitting on today so that they have somewhere to have their meetings. And that's what they did, they purchased it because all the buildings were flat, just like the city had in Germany. Germany had the equivalent of this, though not too many today. I'm pretty sure not too many today, but you had all the same structures that we had. But they were called by a variety of names, Zunfte, or Gilden, they were called in Germany. And there were many livery companies, and the best known one in the UK was called Hansa. And this was the Hanseatic League. So I'm reminding all our German visitors of your school days. The Hanseatic League was very important to the City of London because the trading links were very, very close with the Hanseatic League. And to show the importance of the livery companies in Germany, there were 100 Gilden in Cologne, there were 120 in Hamburg, and there were even more in Lubeck in the times many, many centuries ago. And they all had massively strong business connections to London. Huge business connections, because the whole of the common interest was trade. All the City of London is about trade, and it was all about trade. So what do the livery companies do today? What do they do today? You need to realise, of course, that these livery companies have 800 years of progress. And of course, they're enormously wealthy. These livery companies are hugely wealthy, from land, inheritance, owning property in the City of London, and they're hugely important. Importantly, before you become a liveryman, you have to become a freeman of the City of London. This is not an honour, it's something that anybody can do. Even foreigners can become freemen of the City of London. Even foreigners can. What are the livery clubs? They are networking organisations. 800 years ago, when they probably invented the word networking, I'm pretty sure they knew nothing about networking, but they were networking operations then. And they're still serious networking operations. They promote trade between the different countries, but normally the people are not involved in the trade of the companies, because these companies are blacksmiths, grocers, nothing to do with that sort of thing, other than modern companies like the Master Mariners. Most livery companies require academic qualifications to join, and they spend their money on training, scholarships, schools, education, and they still promote, by example, like the goldsmith companies, looks after all the jewellery in the market to make sure it's good quality. Like the Rotary clubs, their work is focused on charitable giving, and of course they do a very, very large amount of that with huge amounts of money, but of course it's normally focused towards the city rather than external things. I hope this has helped you to understand a little bit about the oddities of the city. 2 mayors, two cities, two kinds of management, very, very difficult to understand. But if you are here again as tourists, I strongly suggest you visit some of these living companies. Tourists never go there, and they're all open. And some of them are magnificent, they're absolutely wonderful places where tourists never go. And they're all open to you, and I strongly recommend that you go. So I've been told before I finish my speech, I have to go a little plug. My daughter is running the London Marathon.
Oh, wow!
For diabetes research, and she's going to be chasing you all over the next year for sponsorship for her thing, so if you would do that. Thank you very much for listening to me this short time. Oh, thanks.
Don't forget your pose.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, David. Please use the toilet, the batteries.
Have I used the battery? I just turned it off. I might turn it off.
No, you won't have.
Thank
you very much. It's a big applause.
Yeah.
Have you got more time, David, for anyone to say a few words?
I've said enough.
He wants a glass of wine. He wants a glass of wine.
Anybody wants to say a few words? No. Yes, David.
Terry does.
We're speaking German, okay?
Oh,
Can you go and stand there and face
Microphone
this?
is Dankeschön für Rosa and Andreas und David.
Can I say one more word, President? Without Andreas von Cassi, this would never occur. Because whilst I'm panicking and, oh my God, I'm going to be charged for everything, nothing's going to go wrong. Andreas is just calm. It's okay, David, we'll have it. We only communicate by email, but his command of English is fantastic, so it makes it very easy for me. But I wanted to tell you about the food. I chose something that I thought would be unusual for you by choosing guinea fowl.
Oh,
Why did I choose guinea fowl? Well, Raj Naidu can tell you. We were both brought up in Africa, and I used to hunt guinea fowl because there are wild things in Africa. But I never ever shot one because they are so clever. They know exactly how far a shotgun will fire. Exactly. And they don't fly, they run. And as soon as they get out of range, they stop. and you think, I've got them, and then of course it falls 2 meters short. And so you run again for another 500 meters, and they stop. They are so, I don't know how they learned it, but they learned it. So I thought, well, I'm going to eat one. One way or another, I'm going to eat one. So I know what it was, and I hope you liked it.
Yeah, we did.
Question for you. We are in this August venue of the Mariners. We are in this very August venue of the Mariners. Why are these fellows conspiring for mutiny?
Do you know, I have no idea. He looks like
they all look like politicians
on a Thursday, doesn't he?
Agony when David stood up and told, oh, well, we don't know whether they're coming or less number of people and everything. But I am very, very grateful on behalf of the Rotary Club of Hornchurch and Upminster that you managed to assemble all these Rotarians from Germany, and it's a very nice fellowship we are having, and I am on the top of the moon, rejoicing. Do you understand what I'm saying? Oh, yeah. Yes. This fellowship and company, and I pray to you on behalf of my president as well, that please long this fellowship continue and make every effort to continue with this fellowship. The next year we will be coming with our families. We will make an expedition to Germany, and then we will come and stay with and see you all, and please do everything possible. Thank you so much.
Thank you, because I think we nearly saw the moon when we went up there to finish with those big telescope, but it is a little bit far forwards to see the moon, but no. Anybody else? A few words?
Only to say, President, I've got 48 bottles of wine, and I will bring them to the club on behalf of our friends from Trier, and make sure everybody gets a bottle who is a member of our club. Andreas and I calculated that, but they've been donated by a member who's not here, and I've written to him on behalf of our club and thanked him, Andreas, for his very, very, very kind. And I can say, I pinch one of the bottles, and it's very nice. Oh, 47 bottles.
Thank you. I've only been a member for 2 weeks within the whole church and Upminster Rotary Club, and I'd like to say thank you all very much for a very, very kind welcome. And it's been an absolute pleasure to meet some of our German colleagues, and hopefully next year I'll be able to join you in Germany. So thank you all for your friendship and hospitality this evening. Thank you.
Oh, well done. Excellent.
Thank you, Jill. Thank you, Jill. Jill, but you didn't say how long you've known me for.
Confidential.
President, I'd just like to say I trust that David will continue the tremendous efforts and good work he's done this evening, and in fact convey to Elke Truman all the best wishes, and to ensure that
Can I just update everybody? We checked this out. Sorry, can you hear it? Yeah.
No.
If it doesn't work, it doesn't work.
No, pull it.
We spoke this afternoon. Carol very kindly contacted about Elke Truman. You can remember that in the original days that Hans Ruder and Brigitte Elke and Eddie started this liaison 10 years ago, exactly 10 years ago. And she's had this very, very serious stroke. We have very little news, except to say that she is in the hospital still. She is not able to speak, She's not able to receive visitors, and she's paralysed in part of her body. So we're praying for her that she will recover. And she asked, her son asked us that we would tell everybody, the German friends, very, very close German friends, because she isn't German, of course, that we would tell them all about it. Because she can communicate with, understanding the letters and understanding stuff like that, but she can't speak or anything like that. So they asked me if I would engage you, but unfortunately I forgot the German, so I remembered that.
She'll be coming round mountain when she comes. She'll be coming round mountain, coming round mountain, coming round mountain when she comes. Singing aye, yippee, yippee, aye.
Yippee, aye.
Singing aye, yippee, yippee, aye.
Yippee, aye.
Singing aye, yippee, yippee, aye, yippee, aye, yippee, yippee, aye.
Thank you, Julie.
Himmlische dein Heiligtum, eine Freude windet wieder, aus die Mondestänge teilt. Alle Menschen werden Brüder, wo dein sanfter Flügel heilt.
Beethoven's ninth.
Time to go home.
Yeah, I know.
Had a good evening.
Yes. Oh, that's it.
Have you had a good time, guys?
Wonderful. Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah.
Wonderful.